Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Sorry for running late. Sorry for running late. I hope everybody's doing great. I'm not going to be long tonight, but I have something I want to share with you. Thank you for giving me some of your time tonight, this evening. I've been thinking about this subject matter for I guess about a week now, and I just needed the time to be able to, to develop it or to deliver it really, because it's really just a conversation that I'm having with you all tonight that I think is necessary. And this deals with just the whole concept of the narcissist. And this is where it started. I started thinking about how a narcissist can be very attractive. How is it that a well-adjusted, intelligent woman, good evening, Jimmy, how is it that she can be taken in by what amounts to a diabolical individual? It's because this person knows how to make himself attractive. And you can find yourself in situations where, if you're not functioning with some fundamental principles in terms of relationships and how to move in and out of relationships, you can find yourself in a situation where you're constantly choosing men that are hurtful and men that leave you broken and damaged. And one of the greatest tricks in the book, when you start talking about game, one of the greatest tricks in the book is when a man becomes everything you imagined. It's when, he plays the nice guy role to the T, and you make your move too soon and you let down your guard and you open up your heart, and then you discover that your Little Red Riding Hood dealing with grandma, or you think you're dealing with grandma, thank you very much, but you really were dealing with a wolf. It's when the man plays the nice guy, and the world teaches the woman that if a guy is nice, he's absolutely safe. Just because a man is nice does not necessarily mean that he's safe. In fact, about it, I think the more appealing a man is up front, the more cautious a woman should be. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The more cautious a woman should be. Because nice guys, the nice guy thing can be an act. A man can learn how to play the nice guy for a certain span of time until he gets what he wants, and then his true colors will show. So now let me get into this tonight, some biblical context. If you look in 2 Corinthians 11 and 14, it says, "And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light." Satan himself, excuse me for moving that camera, can transform himself into an angel of light. So he can appear to be the exact opposite of what he actually is. And if you've watched any of my teachings at all relative to narcissist, I tell you, I personally believe that Satan, Lucifer, is the father of narcissist. I believe that. I believe from the biblical document and from what, what I have at my disposal, Satan is the father of narcissists. So when you see narcissists running around, they're spawns of Satan. You have narcissists from one extreme to another. Some narcissists are just, self-worshipers, and they just brag on themselves. But then you have some that are actually toxic and have intention of injuring others. When you get to that level, I believe you're looking at people that are the product of Satan. But now let me show you something here. Number one, you'll have a guy that is most polite. Yes, ma'am, opening doors, pulling out chairs, just extremely polite. But now, his politeness many times is designed to throw you off, to believe that because he's a nice guy, he's a good guy. But a lot of times this is a strategy to get you to lower your standard, or to lower your guard, not your standard, but to lower your guard. He'll be a very nice guy. Number one, he's listened to your conversation and he's heard you talk about how your former or your ex was so disrespectful and brutish, and he heard you talk about how your ex wouldn't open doors and your ex, was this and that. And so now he takes on this persona of being everything you ever imagined, and he becomes extremely polite. Now, there are some people on here tonight that can testify to what I'm getting ready to say. That same, thank you very much, that same very polite guy, when he has you where he wants you, when he gets you into a vulnerable or compromised position, that same nice guy turns into a snake at the blinking of an eye. It's because it was always an act. That same polite guy, listen to what the Bible says in Genesis 3:1, again speaking of Satan, says, "Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, yea, hath God said," but notice it says, he was more subtle than any beast of the field. He was smooth. He was polite. He had manners. He knew how to move in. He knew how to talk. He had the right tone. But he was what? Lucifer. He was Satan. He was the devil. Now, I'm going to show you a few profiles that women fall for, and then we're going to conclude this with just some ideas that I have on how a woman can begin to arm herself with wisdom. If y'all don't mind, I'd like y'all to get my likes up. She can begin to arm herself with wisdom, moving in and out of relationships, moving forward, that she's not made susceptible to this kind of debauchery. If you look in 2 Peter 2:3, it says, "And through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not." But notice it says, with their words, they'll make merchandise of you. A man can move into your life, and see, this is prevalent. I'm a pastor, so I come from the church context, and this is prevalent in the church. Guys move in and they talk all of that religious talk, all of that Bible talk, all of that I love Jesus stuff, and RC Blakes is my pastor, he's my spiritual father, and women don't check this stuff out, and then it's after this guy's come in and plundered and pillaged and all of this other stuff, and then you want to have a meeting with me or send me an email talking about brother so-and-so and so-and-so told me that he was your right-hand man, and I don't even know this guy. But he came in polite and, like he loved Jesus, and he knows that you have a great respect for me. Thank you so much. And he slides in with these smooth words. And because you've been so accustomed to dealing with bad boys that are harsh and brutish, you say, okay, I'm just going to flip the script, and I'm going to get, if a guy is really, really nice to me, he has to be the one. No, sometimes nice guys are the biggest actors. The reality is the typical brutish type guy, he's not even acting. He's just what you're attracted to. He's being himself. He's not really hiding much. It's that guy that slides in and he talks all of this smooth talk. Now, let me just add this here while I'm here and thinking about it. You notice there are a lot of men, which I don't have a problem with. I think it's a great thing when men become advocates for their women. But I would advise you, not in all cases, somebody write, not in all cases. I would advise you, if a man is on any kind of platform talking to the issues of women and he's saying all of the right things, be very careful with that man if he does not have an obvious relationship with his wife. Or if he says he has a wife and, he doesn't really honor her, or you don't know if he married or not, and he's saying all of this right stuff, and you got to be careful with that, because one of the things that men are skilled at is finding the tune that moves a woman's heart. And a player knows, if I say all of the right stuff, she'll open her heart to me and she'll trust. You have to be very careful with that, because sometimes a guy is polite and he's saying all of the right things the right way, and he's really just setting you up. Another guy that women are just, it's like you just lose your complete mind. It's like, it's like your brain just gets fried. It's like your spirit that's so connected to God gets disconnected when you see a very handsome guy, a physically attractive guy. One of the big mistakes we make in life on both sides, men and women, watch this, listen to this very carefully. This is going to help you to reconfigure some of your thought patterns. One of the big mistakes we make in life, men and women, is to look at a very attractive person and to conclude that their physical attributes are the reflection of their inner qualities. So you look at somebody on television, or you look at somebody on social media, or you look at somebody from across the room that you never really got close to, don't really know, but they're very attractive. And you say a person that, that looks that good has to be equally as beautiful on the inside. Not in a lot of cases. Because narcissists are often good-looking people, and sometimes they have natural attributes, and other times they have enhanced profiles. They know how to dress, they know how to groom themselves, they know what kind of fragrances to wear. Their presentation is so attractive that they look good, and then you have those that just have it, and they've been adored and they've been, revered all of their lives until sometimes, not in all cases, because I know some very, very attractive people who are the most humble and well-balanced people in the world. But in some cases, you have people who are that attractive. They've been so esteemed all of their lives, they begin to believe the hype, and they begin to sing their own praises, and this narcissistic seed begins to be fertilized in them. And sometimes you're running, you're blinded by the beauty, or you're blinded by the handsomeness. You know, Lisa and I were in the park walking 2 days ago, and there's this young guy. I mean, he looked to be probably maybe in his late 20s, maybe early 30s. This guy's had to be about 6'4", big, you know, muscles, not swole up, but just cut up, you know, small waist, head full of hair, and he just running. and I said, I forget exactly what I said to Lisa, but it was something along the lines of, you know, most women, that's the standard. He got to be 6'4", you know, he got to have a 26-inch waist, he got to have a 46-inch chest, he got to have a head full of hair. And you're going for all of that, which is cool if that's what you want, if that's what you think you need, but you've not addressed the internals of the man. And in a lot of cases, that is a well-built, well-structured demonic package. And then you look over a guy that may be 5'10", 5'9", 5'11", maybe not as athletically built, but, you know, not hard on the eyes at the same time, got his money right, loves God, is going to respect you and honor you. You look over that guy because your standard, the world has trained you that your standard is this Adonis type. And without even thinking, when somebody asks you about your type, you start with the physical. And not understanding that many times the physical attributes of a person's physical attractiveness is really just a smokescreen for the enemy to enter into your life and to destroy things. Whereas if you stop and you just mature and see, this is true. Listen to me now. This is true of young women from their late teens and their 20s, all the way to women that are in their 60s. There's a certain look you want. And I'm not hating on you for that. But all I'm saying is, while you're focused on the external, you may be entertaining demonic forces unawares while you're drunk on attractiveness. Because if you look in Ezekiel 28:12, it says, "Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus and say unto him." And that reference to the king of Tyrus is really a reference to Lucifer or Satan or the devil. "And say unto him, Thus saith the Lord God, thou sealest up the sum, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty." What is my point? Lucifer, according to the Bible, is very attractive. I'm not saying attractive people are of the devil now. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying when we lock in on the physical attributes of a person, the devil can slip into our lives and we not even realize it. Now, there's this term that the young people have recently taught me. I'm learning from the young people. It's amazing when you're an older guy and you can learn from the young people. It's this term hypergamy or hypergamy, however you all choose to say it. And it's this concept of a woman choosing a man in a lot of cases visually based on his physical attributes, because she wants to produce or reproduce with a man that's of a certain physical type, a certain look. She wants her children to look a certain way, so she seeks a man. Well, this is where you run into issues where you have children you make beautiful children with a good-looking man that is a horrible father and could possibly be a horrible father and not much of a husband, because you made your choices based on external things, and you ushered a narcissist into your life willingly, or should I say ignorantly. Okay, another way that this kind of man can enter into your life as a woman, we said number one, just politeness. You call the politeness, meaning that you say that means he's a good guy. Or physical attractiveness. Okay, watch this. The third one, perception of wealth. See, when you are a woman that, now I got to be careful with how I say these things, but when you're a woman that's only concerned about the dollar, a man can excite you and get you excited and fool you and make you think that he has what he does not have. And you so busy running behind the dollar, you're ignoring all of these red flags that you're dealing with a demonic spirit, because this guy has made you believe that because he has a suit, because he has a suit, and he showed you the label. Number one, a man that really is a man of means, he's not walking around broadcasting labels. Anytime you see a man walking around, this is Gucci. Well, he's not a man of means. A man of means does not walk around broadcasting labels. But why do they do this? They know that there are gullible women who are looking for a man making a certain amount of money, and all I have to do is just act like I got it, borrow my friend's car, or it may be his car. But just because a man drives a nice car doesn't mean that he's a man of means. He may just be a fool that's spending all his money on a car note. But, just creating the perception of wealth for a woman that feels like she has to have a man making a certain amount of money. Let me just add something to that conversation while I'm there. Now, y'all know my position. I will never tell you that you should go out here and throw yourself in the arms of a man that is not concerned about making money. I just don't believe a woman should subject herself or her children to being submitted to a man that has no concern for making money. At the same time, I don't believe you need to be going out here, teetering on gold digger, running behind a man because you think he got X amount of dollars. Because here's the reality. People all over, Instagram and Facebook, they take pictures of Lisa and I and say relationship goals. And that's flattering. But the reality is this. When Lisa and I got together, I wasn't balling. She was making more money than me. But she saw my work ethic. She knew my vision and where I was going. And she got into my life and she helped me to manifest the stuff that was always in me. So don't always, the thing about wealth, that's nice. But don't always make that a deal breaker. Now, if a man don't want a job and he's just lying around, well, there's not even a discussion now. Look what the Bible says in Luke 12:15. And he said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. You can't judge what kind of man he is because of the stuff he got, the stuff he running around with, or projecting he has. Even if he's a millionaire, say he's a millionaire. Do you all know they got millionaire men that will get you locked up and marry you and bring you into the house and beat the life out of you for the rest of your life, separate you from your family and your friends, and technically make a slave out of you, all because you ran behind the perceptions of wealth? Didn't know that there was a demonic narcissist hiding behind all of these so-called resources? Come on now. I'm trying to help you all. And then number 4, then we'll get into strategies to, save yourself from some of this. The perception of superior knowledge. These are some of the ways men who have these toxic, demonic, narcissistic spirits slide into a woman's life. Perception of wealth, physically attractive, and just, really nice, a polite guy. But then there's the guy that has this perception of superior knowledge. They know everything. They know everything. Everything you say you want to do, they know something about it. They know just enough to generate a conversation, and they create this idea that somehow they are, superior in knowledge, and they can actually sell you on it, because a woman very well may be attracted to a man that has a certain, dimension of knowledge. But you have to stop sometimes and think about what people are actually saying to you. And don't just be so carried away over the presentation that you're not actually opening this thing up to see the true content. A lot of these guys are blowing smoke, and all you need to do to cut through the stuff is to ask 2 or 3 questions. And then they're going to change the subject. They subjugate you as a superior intellect. Oh, you don't know. Let me help you. Let me teach you. And you buy into their self-proclaimed brilliance, and then they position you as an underling. So you constantly, you got the bobblehead now. You just constantly shaking your head. You shaking your head to stuff that don't even make sense, but they've gotten you so conditioned because they got you believing that they are so brilliant. And it's something about, watch this, always be careful with a man that talks so much and so fast, you can't gather your thoughts. It's like they use these words and they just keep on talking. And it's like you cannot figure out where you actually stand on what's being said, because so many things are coming to you at one time. And then they're almost like a slick used car salesman. They want to slide you into committing to something before you even had a chance to think about it. And there you find yourself letting, a demonic, toxic, possibly dangerous, narcissistic spirit into your life, not realizing what you've done. Now watch this. Here's some things that I would suggest to you in terms of relationships, moving in and out of relationships as a woman. Number one, let me say this to you. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. It's going to take time to prove if a man is what he appears to be or not. You see, toxic men want to rush you. And then there's some that are so slick, they'll slow it down and they won't rush you. They'll act like, okay, we're going to move at your pace. But the reality is they're setting you up. You have to take your time. Do not be so quick to avail yourself to a man because he looks good or he's saying the right stuff. Hold on to your value. Don't rush. Don't rush. I don't care how old you are. Oh, I'm on the clock. And I understand I'm not a woman. You know what I mean? I don't have a biological clock that says I can, I can't have a child after such and such a time and all of that. I don't relate to that because I am a man. But I do understand how many women are rushing into relationships with demons because you want to have a child so bad, and now you can't even enjoy the child's life because you're so busy trying to protect the child from the demon that you allowed to father the child. So you have to ask yourself, yeah, you may be, in this position where you at a certain age and you want to have a child, but is it worth bringing a child into the world with somebody that has not been proven? Should you rush into a relationship because somebody says at a certain age, you over the hill, you hit the wall or whatever, man, that's a lot of BS. You have to make certain that you make wise relational decisions. Why is that important? Why is that important, RC Blakes? That's important because the average man is much stronger than the average woman. A man can be half a woman's size and twice as strong. And you just don't know how many women are out here who have rushed into these situations and did not prove these men and then entered into physically abusive situations that they're scared to even leave. So I say to you, when you're dealing with a man, moving in and out of relationships with men, take your time. A toxic man gets uncomfortable at a slow pace. A healthy man, a man that has the right intentions, will always be comfortable with, come on now, take your time. You ain't got to be rushing trying to figure out, how many months should it be before I sleep with somebody? Well, I mean, y'all already know my position on that. Now, I ain't gonna be hypocritical because, when I was out there doing my stuff, I wasn't, I wasn't following the rules, but just because I wasn't following them don't mean the rules were wrong. You need to sit your happy self down. You don't need to be crawling up in the bed with nobody that you're not married to. You don't need to just keep on adding to your body count because you think that crawling in the bed is going to make a man love you or make a man stay with you. If that were the case, the last however many you had would have stayed with you as much as you crawl in the bed with them. You need to slow this thing down, babe. Slow yourself down. Slow it down. Slow it down. If you slow it down, you're going to save yourself a whole lot of. And then watch this. Another thing you got to implement. Number one, the principle of time. Just take your time. Don't let nobody rush you. Take your time. Number two, talking. Now watch this. Don't when you're engaging a guy, don't let a dude just run off at his mouth and talk about what he want to talk about. And no. Just all that running game on you. No. Baby, I tell you what, I got a life plan for you and I got a life plan for you and I. Ooh, I got a life plan for you and I. Ooh, I'm going to do something for you. Ooh, your mama going to sing at the wedding. Oh, all that kind of, No. Okay, that's nice. I appreciate that. Mama going to sing at the wedding. You going to do something for me. I got you. But now what's your vision? What'd you say? What's your vision? No. What's your vision? Okay. Do you plan on getting married? Do you want to be married? See, because a lot of y'all going all this distance with a man, you've never even had a conversation with him about marriage or not. Why would you crawl up in a bed with a man that you haven't had a conversation with him about if he want to be married? And then when you come out of the situation, the man tells you, well, I ain't never told you I was going to marry you. Then when you think about it, you ain't never asked the man. You never told the man that marriage was a requirement. See, because when you go to talking like a woman with some good sense and a dude go to listening to the depth of your the content of your conversation, he can tell, okay, this chick is hip. Ain't no sense in me playing around here. Pew! And he out of here. And you ain't supposed to grieve that. When you have a deep conversation with a man and he don't call you back, you're supposed to celebrate because you just dodged a bullet. But you weed them out through the conversation, through the talking. And in the process of the talking, you ask questions that only kings can answer. You go to asking deep questions, dude gets scared. When Queen of Sheba went to see Solomon in the Bible says she went to test him with hard questions, and he answered everything because he was a king. Number three, now this is important. This one right here is important. Y'all got me at about 678 likes. It'd be nice if I could get to 1,000 before we're done. Watch this. Now watch this. Listen to this very carefully. Now we're talking about how you should begin to conduct yourself moving forward in the process of, engaging potential men in a relationship. Take your time. Make certain that the conversation is deep and meaningful. Thank you so much. But now watch this. Number 3, expose them to your community. Now, when I say expose them to your community, I'm not talking about your girlfriends who sitting around popping gum and just as clueless as anybody else. No. I'm talking about you and dude on 3rd, 4th date, dude talking about, he feeling you and all of that. I think, we could go somewhere with this. Really? Okay. Well, now you invite dude to the cookout or, whatever side of the track y'all from, family dinner or whatever y'all, call it. Because you want dude now to see, if your daddy's around, dude needs to see you got a daddy. Dude need to see that you got brothers, you got some male cousins. Dude need to see mama. Mama need to look dude in the eye. You got to see the reason these guys get such a grip in you and do such damage is because y'all hiding them from the people that got to protect you. Y'all hiding them from the people that got to protect you. And the reason you hiding them from the people that got to protect you is because the people that got to protect you know you done had 4 different men in the last, year. So now you done got to the point you shame. But babe, don't be so shamed that you run away from your defense system. A lot of these guys get out of pocket with you when they come out. It's because they have no one to be accountable to. But when dude know you got a brother that did a bid, pops, got his shotgun sitting at the front door. Mom got a pocket knife. And you got 2 or 3 best friends or good friends, that's packing. I promise you, it's gonna change his life. It's gonna change his life. And if you have those strong friends, you know what I mean? Those strong friends that have the spirit of discernment and what have you. Introduce dude, let them see that. Don't ever hide your defense system from a man, because a woman in a world like the world we live in today, a woman needs to make it very clear to a man, if you come the wrong way, I ain't by myself. Listen to what the Bible says in Leviticus 26:8. It says, and 5 of you shall chase 100, and 100 of you shall put 10,000 to flight, and your enemies shall fall before you by the sword. What's the principle? The more y'all there are, or there is, whichever's the right way to say it, the more dude has to be concerned about. You don't hide. Now if a dude can move in and out your family, watch this. Dude can come into your family, meet your daddy, meet your brothers, and dapping up, and they all chilling and talking, and dude take a liking to your brothers take a liking to dude, and they hanging out together. That's a great sign. That's a great sign. Because your brother's going to tell them, look, you hurt my sister. It's going to be me and you, bro. And be honest with her now. See, dudes going to hold one another accountable. But one of the biggest mistakes you ladies make is that even when you have men in your life that will defend you and speak up for you, you keep them out of your romantic affairs because you don't want the men in your life. You don't want their opinion about it. In other words, you don't want to think you in love with a man and then bring him home and daddy and your brother say, And then every time they tell you that, they're always right. It's not until you done kept dude a secret and now he's, putting his hands on you. Now you sliding home trying to get your brothers. I want to tell you something. He putting his hands on me. Who putting their hands on you? This dude I'm with. How long you been with him? 8 months. Why haven't you brought him for me to see? See? Somebody type in the thing for me, common sense. Just type common sense right there. Now watch this. Letter D. Letter A, time. Letter B, talking. Letter C, expose them to your community. Letter D, always follow a man's pace. And now watch this. This is what I mean by that. Never go faster than the man. In fact, at some point, slow down that he has to back up to reconnect to you. Don't jump out there talking about, oh, I love you. I'm going to just say it. I love you. I love you. And dude looking at you like, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. You don't want to be the one to I don't know. I don't know if I can control myself. What you mean? You're a woman. What you mean you don't know if you can control yourself? You mean tell me you that hot that you gonna tell a man something? You gotta slow down, and you gotta always move at a man's pace. If a man, and it's as petty as this. Listen to me now. I'm teaching y'all. If a man, it's as petty as this in the beginning. If a man chooses to call you once a day, you're not supposed to be calling this dude 4 and 5 times a day. No. He called once a day, you call once a day, or once every other day. No. Dude, don't ask about making no date to go out. You know, you ain't gonna drop no hints. You know, you ain't desperate like that. You ain't dropping no hints. You gonna move at the pace he's providing. See, because you got to understand, a toxic dude will use a pace to set you up for, I call it addiction, where you become addicted to this situation. And he gets your nose wide open and he gets you to fiending over him. But see, the way you avoid that is you don't allow your heart to move beyond where the dude is. Best case scenario, you ain't supposed to be talking about I love you until dude says it. I don't care what you're feeling. I don't care what you're feeling. Because love is feeling and all of that. But love is a decision too. It's a decision. And you are not supposed to make that decision to love somebody that has not proven to you, because your heart is much more fragile than a man. A man can move in and out of relationships. He don't care. He don't care. But every time a relationship ends for you, you got a whole lot of therapy you got to do. You got a whole lot of work you got to do to repair your soul. So, babe, you got to be smart enough as an individual. You got to be smart enough to protect you. Do not move beyond the pace of the dude. Don't run out there. Don't run out there changing your social media thing to my in a relationship. Don't run out there posting pictures of this man and he ain't posting nothing of you. Don't run out there telling everybody, oh, no. You're not going to be sitting around begging a man to marry you, begging a man to engage you. No, you're going to move at his pace. And like I said, at a certain point, wisdom says, slow down, so that if he's really interested, he has to slow down and back up to come and get you, to reconnect to you. See, because when you give yourself to man, you got to know that it's the real deal. Now, I've been on here 40 some minutes. Let me hurry up and finish this, and then I'm done. Always acknowledge your intuitions. Always acknowledge your intuitions. Now, the world calls it intuition. The Bible calls it discernment. You see, you have to understand this. God is talking to all of y'all. Even those of y'all that I don't believe in no God, I don't go to nobody to church. God loves you so much, he even talking to you. He's talking to you. And you know that feeling you get in down in your spirit that says something ain't right about this. This looks good. This is a wonderful package, but something ain't right about this. That's the Spirit of God saying to you, no, don't do this. Don't do this. No, don't do, nada. That's God, babe. In your spirit, you got to slow your emotions down, slow your hormones down, long enough to allow your spirit to speak and pay attention to your spirit. And when you feel that thing in you that says no, you gotta respect that. That's the voice of God. And you know what? When you have to email me, thank you so much. And you have to tell me this, and this. What do you think? See, when you got to ask somebody else, what do you think about a dude? It means that your spirit is saying, mm-mm. In most cases. In most cases. So that's my little spill for tonight. I just wanted to get that out. I've been preoccupied with a lot of things. We have QUEENOLOGY happening October the 10th. I'm training the kings now. And registration is just $29 for the brothers. I'm trying to do everything I can do to motivate the brothers. They moving real slow though. I ain't lying to you. I ain't lying. I'm used to rolling with the queens, and the queens don't play. The queens take care of business. These dudes are moving slow. This is the slowest pace I've ever experienced in my life. So I'm just committed to the cause, you know what I'm saying? But I need y'all to share this, get the word out, tell these dudes, man, come on now. Get off the block with your 40 and get to the thing and register for the thing. The brother trying to do something for the kings. And then of course we have QUEENOLOGY, the second part, December 5th and 6th. You can register for that as well. You can register, brothers, for QUEENOLOGY. I'd love to have you all. Now listen, don't forget to stop by my website. Thank you for the knowledge, Pop. I appreciate you. I don't know who UG Rose is, but thank you so much. Don't forget to stop by my website. Sign up for any of my online programs. QUEENOLOGY, QUEENOLOGY 2.0, the training for reigning, wisdom for women in ministry, transcending the father wound, soul ties. Stop by and sign up for one of those online programs. Of course, you can get all of my books at Amazon. And even my books are in Kindle now. Some of you have been asking, can you put them in Kindle? We're working on getting the audio books and all of that. You know, I'm trying to keep up. So you all pray for me, but stop by and support. Thanks to all of you that super chatted tonight. I just love you. I just love you. I don't take the time to read your stuff because, and I get it, some people are really locked in here and they need exactly what's coming out of my mouth. And so I don't want to break that experience for them. So that's why you don't see me stopping like I'm doing now. Thank you, Pastor and Mrs. Blakes, during my message anymore. It's because I respect that. So I love you all. I appreciate you. I'm not certain if there's something I'm missing or not. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you all. I love you. I think that's it. I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but have a great night. I wrote you an email twice, Pastor, please pray for me. Send it to me again, Noonie. Send it to me again tonight and put something bold in the thing so I can know it's you. And I'll try to make certain that I can see it. All right, I love you all. Have a great night. I got 1,000, likes. Boy, what if I can get that to 1,100? I love y'all. I want you to have a great night, and I'll talk to you real soon. Hopefully I'll get a chance to talk to you again by the weekend. Have a great night now. Talk to you soon.